Hey guys. Oh boy, today. You know, it's a wonderful thing when you can smile even in situations that looks a little dire. What am I talking about? My weight. But I'm going to tell you right now, before I tell you how much I weighed in, it's not bothering me one bit. So, weighing myself this morning, I came in at 175.0. So I went back up the 7 ounces. Who cares? Seriously, yeah, you've got to care, but don't go ballistic about it, especially if you know that you are continuing doing what you need to do to lose the weight. And I know I am. So, we went out, enjoyed a buffet with my husband's family, and it was great. And I made sure I had plenty of protein so that I had a good balance. And that, you know what, that was fine. But a little afterwards, me and hubby went and got us a custard. Oh, I got myself a small, but that's what I did. So more than likely, that's where it went. It was simply the buffet and the custard combined. But I'm not bothered about it, not one bit. And I want you to take note of that. I'm not bothered at all. See, there's other things going on with my body besides just the scales. Not to mention I had to replace the battery in the scale, so now my rate should be even more accurate. But, that's besides the issue. There is what's called Nsv'S, or as you'd rather put it, NSV, non-scale victories. Now, I've not done anything today to see what my newest non-scale is, but I know it's there. I can see it physically, and I can feel it physically. I can feel it mentally, emotionally, because the biggest hurdle emotionally when trying to lose weight is thinking that you're failing yourself. That's a huge thing right there, when you feel like you're failing yourself. I'm still getting over that hurdle, but the further along I get, the more I realize I'm not failing myself. The only time that I will be failing myself is if I go back to eating all day long without giving a care in the world, just sitting and eating bonbons. I don't eat bonbons, okay? But you know what I'm getting at. And I'm not ever going to go there. I'm never going to go back to freely eating, stuffing my face, gorging my belly, and enjoying the greater pleasures of life, so to speak. As fun as it would be to just sit and munch on a bag of chips while watching a movie, that's not going to happen. Because the one thing that has happened to me with the intermittent fasting, I'm not going to give it to OMAD, but to intermittent fasting, because this had started to change when I was doing the Ray Down, and my intermittent fasting time was increasing. through the intermittent fasting, kind of like a cleaning of the body, so to speak, which is what autophagy does. But kind of like getting that cleaning of the body. Anything that's salty, like chips, is overwhelming. Eat just a few chips and it starts to get overwhelming salt-wise. And it's the same thing about sweets. A small candy bar, like those 100-calorie candy bars that you can get for like 50 cents or whatever, those are just right. But if I start to indulge on like a small bag or a king size, the sugar starts getting overwhelming. So through the intermittent fasting, my tastes for foods have changed. I'm satisfied with even less salt, which, I never was big on salt anyway, ever. And I'm not so big on sugar either. I still like my sugary stuff, having a candy or a dessert of some kind, but not it being overwhelming. The custard that I had gotten yesterday, the smallest they've got is the small, which is about like that, about that big. And I get about halfway down and it starts to be too sweet. But I go on ahead and finish it up because, this is fresh homemade custard, costs a little bit of money, and I'm not wanting to just throw it away. But it's a very good thing that I don't get a medium or a large, because there is no way I would ever be able to put it down. It's just too much. At one time in my life, way back in the past, before I'd ever started seriously doing the way down and nomad and intermittent fasting, I was able to put down as many chips as was available in the bag. Seriously. Me and my son could have been in great competition, honest. A bag of candy, man, I could have just gulped that down on my own without any help even. So that's one of the greatest non-scale victories right there. Getting to the point that what's called junk food becomes overwhelming in tastes, and salts and sugars becomes overwhelming. And that is a great thing in itself, because that means the chances of you indulging is even less. Another great non-scale victory is the fact that I can't hold as much as I used to, which is terrific. At one point in time in my life, I was able to eat a very large plate of whatever and go back and almost get that same portion of plate. So, yeah, the fact that I don't go back for seconds and I can't hold as much as I used to, because seriously, when I was going back for seconds, my first portion was a man size. And what's so crazy about all this is that at the time that I was eating like that, I thought I was still trying to lose weight. How in the world was I putting losing weight and eating like that together? How was I linking that? So it's so much different now. My love affair with food has changed. I still like food, but I appreciate it in a different way now. So those are really good non-scale victories that can last a lifetime. They can actually last a lifetime, which would help tremendously with maintenance. I know that the measurements are coming down. My arms, they're starting to get tighter. I've still got this here, but they are smaller, and things are happening. So, like I'd said before, the scales is like a bobber in a slowly draining water. where it's just bobbing up and down while going down. Just like that. My rate is coming down, but it's bobbing. But it's coming down. And that's good enough for me. Knowing that I no longer have that attraction to the food like I once did, knowing that I no longer can hold how much I used to be able to hold, knowing that salts become overwhelming too fast, knowing that sweets becomes overwhelming too fast, that alone makes the big change. Non-scale victories. Beating the odds and winning. Anyway, guys, I love yins. You'll see me tomorrow. Have a great day.